Hello and welcome to the show. Now, over the last couple of months, you probably noticed that I've got lots of issues going around martial arts. So I'm joined today with Aslam Mahomed, and he's got an interesting story to tell. He occupies a lofty position within the martial arts fraternity in South Africa. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Faizal, and I must thank you for inviting us to this show, the Faizal Show on Deen TV.
It's a pleasure. Now, there's you as a person, for starters. I know that we have a great story to tell today, and that's there's a little girl out there that needs some help to reach her dream, and that's within the kickboxing fraternity. But before we go there, your designation in the martial arts fraternity, I know that before the show we were talking a lot about what you've been busy doing and how you do it. I must admit on my side, it's a fraternity I'm a bit scared of, but that's fine, we'll get to that a bit later.
I'm currently the president of United Martial Arts International, and I was nominated as a president for the WMO, which is the World Martial Arts Organization for South Africa. And I'm an 8-degree black belt, and I've been training for over the past 30 years.
That's interesting because I must be honest, I say this all the time, I don't see myself getting past 30 minutes. I know what you guys do is very hectic and that sort of thing, and I know there's dealing with other people within martial arts recently, like Winton Chong. I've been picking up lots of information about why people do martial arts and the other focuses apart from self-defense. There's a broader picture. Do you think that's perhaps a good starting point as to why martial arts?
Martial arts is a form of living. It's a lifestyle. It's a pattern. A lot of people think that martial arts is just a physical aspect. Martial art has a lot of a mental aspect, like preparing a child mentally for the ring, and also the type of mannerisms that you bring, the discipline aspect of every single child before they go into the ring, before they leave the house, when they get up in the morning, those type of things. That's what martial arts is all about.
So this is the tri-component of body, mind and soul encompassed within a lifestyle.
Exactly.
Your background in martial arts, I know that your father is involved. I met him just before the show, and he's been doing that for about 70 years. So has this become a family tradition?
It's a family tradition. My brothers, my sisters are South African champions for martial arts. They still train. And I've been in the dojo, I think before I could walk. When I stood, I learned to kick first from an 18-month-old baby. I've been going to class, obviously just playing around, but from the age of 3, I started punching and kicking and running around class. And at age 4, my first competition. So it became part of our lifestyle. Martial arts has been always in our house. Breakfast, lunch, supper, it's martial arts.
I think it's an interesting dynamic. I think it speaks of not only doing something that you do because it's a hobby or something like that. It's actually doing something that you're immersed in. And I think there's a difference where that's concerned. Now, the organization itself, I know that you serve in these lofty positions within the martial arts fraternity. Tell us a bit about those organizations and some of the work that they're doing in South Africa.
Firstly, we have the United Martial Arts International, where I'm currently the president for United Martial Arts. And I'm serving as the president for WMO, which is the World Martial Arts Organization for South Africa. A little bit background history of WMO International, the world organization. The founder is Master Alfie Lewis, who's a 9th Dan black belt. He's a multi-time world WACO champion.
Just for our viewers, when you say 9th Dan, what does that actually mean?
It's a 9-degree black belt. That means...
So it's 9 out of, is 9 the highest?
10, you can go, the highest is 10.
10 is highest, so basically it's 9 out of 10 at the moment, okay.
And he's a multiple time world champion. He's driven by passion. The reason why WMO was formed is because he didn't want this tip-tap and touch of martial arts in the ring. He wanted solid techniques basically the so-called old school of fighting. He wanted to bring that into the sport, and he's very passionate about it. And the techniques that he wants to be executed in this type of fighting are part of the rules and formulations and regulations of this martial arts. He's based in Liverpool in England, and basically he's spread now to be over 18 to 20 countries that we are operating in.
So when you look at the organization, I noticed one thing that from our pre-interview is that you have this focus of martial arts, which is what you do, but there are components of social responsibility in this. I see lots of talk about children, uplifting of children, sponsorship of children, and those kind of things. And then you also spoke about incorporating things into a lifestyle in terms of avoiding bullying and all of those kind of things. Tell us a bit about that side of the issues.
Okay, firstly I'll go into the aspect of where we're going into the underprivileged communities. Like we have like instructors that are working in Hillbrow, they're working in Soweto, they're working that's in Gauteng, and now we have instructors that are in Durban that are working in Umlazi, they're working in down south, South Coast, Lotus Park. We have an instructor there by the name of Shian Razak Ali. He works with underprivileged children. We got Kancho, who works with kids from the Ispingo side, from the even the affluent side, from your Westville, your town, your Overport, central students. But at the same time, the underprivileged kids, they have the talent, they have the discipline, they have the integrity, they have the honor. But unfortunately, they don't have the finance. Because very important in the ring is your equipment, your type of equipment that you use. That's for the protection of the fighter together with the opponent. Without the proper gear, without the proper equipment, you are doing injustice to the sport.
Correct. Yes. Now, is it the old adage of looking at youth that's on the road that might be distracted by various things that they're doing? Is there a component of the organization that deals with that? So that means you want to take the youth off the road, keep them focused on these things instead of going down to the drug dens and doing all funny kinds of things.
Exactly. On the East Rand in Benoni at the moment, I'm working on an anti-bullying campaign. And before I get into the anti-bullying campaign, the issue of drugs is a very big problem throughout the country. Drugs, the new types of drug coming out on a daily basis. Kids are from the age of 6, 7 are being exposed to drugs. And that's when parents come to us and tell us, you know what, I think my child, a simple thing like a cigarette that's flicked onto the ground, a 6-year-old will pick it up and take a few puffs of that cigarette.
And that might be just the start of a long road ahead.
100%. That exactly. And going back into, for example, the kids that are being bullied. There's 3 types of bullying that I've come across now with my anti-bullying campaign. You get a child that's being bullied mentally. That means a child who's being teased. He's being teased because maybe he's wearing thick pair of glasses. Maybe a girl who has rotten teeth. Or weight problem.
I must admit, you are just taking me back to the school days, because we all did those kind of things.
Yep.
But I think you're right. There needs to be an education process around this.
And that's what I am campaigning against now. And then you get the physical part of bullying. The physical part of bullying is where a child is physically beaten up or abused by other kids in the school. And then you have, in today's times, you have cyberbullying. Cyberbullying, the exposure to cyberbullying is big. I mean, every kid now most of the kids have cell phones. There's Twitter, there's Facebook, there's BBM, your BlackBerry services, you have your WhatsApp. Today kids take a picture of another child or something like this and say, look at him or look at her, and those type of things. It's very traumatizing for a young child.
Are you saying that it is therefore important for parents to consider organizations like yourself to get the kids involved with, apart from the normal scholarly issues that they normally deal with and whatever tuition they go for, they need to be involved with this kind of thing so that they have a holistic view and understanding of their life going forward?
Most of my appeal to parents are to become friends with your child. Understand your child. Don't have that harsh attitude towards your kids. Have that respect values between a father and mother and a child, but also have the values of being a friend to that child, so that child can open themselves up to you. Because you'll see a lot of cases, kids are being bullied, but they are scared to tell their parents or scared to tell their educators. So the important thing is that where we work together with parents, most of my kids that have come to the dojo are kids that have been bullied. And what we do training, mental training, physical training. The mental aspect of it, you teach the kids that are in your gym, how do you feel if someone teases you? So obviously they say they don't like it. So I said, so you must not do that to someone else. You put that child in that position. And then from there we work with these kids. We teach them, like for example, physical bullying. We teach children that if someone, we have a thing called a multiple attack, where one child, maybe 8 years old, and we surround them with 4 or 5 kids that are maybe 9 and 10 years old. And we tell them, right, spar against us, against the 4 or 5 of them. Not to teach them to go and fight and hit 4 or 5 people, but to prepare them mentally and physically to say that if 4 or 5 people attack you, you are willing to withstand that pressure. You are willing to take on that pressure. And you even teach them to run away, run to an adult, go seek assistance, scream, shout, create an awareness.
So you're basically offering the full package. Aslam, we're going to go to an ad break. When we come back, we're going to talk about Zahra and her problem and the assistance that our community can perhaps give her to aspire towards her dreams. That's Aslam Mahomed. When we come back, we're going to talk about Zahra, the sponsorship that she needs to go overseas and do what she wants to do.